there is the corner of our lot 4. You can see the corner post of the circa that's reinforced of our fence, and there's our electric pole and our electric box. Our property line is exactly where, well, just a tiny bit inside where this pole de las líneas electricidad go. The trees are exactly on our property line. Those trees will go. All of these trees are not permanent trees. They're landscaping trees for the purposes of showing the land, but they're not good long-term trees, and it's really not good to build with trees there. You landscape later. So most of ours have been cut down, but as you can see, they're already starting to grow back. And on this side, some of the bigger ones have been left because we told our guy Terry would be brokenhearted to come in this summer and have no trees. So later, these will all be removed and we will have the stumps burned so that they don't grow back. That's necessary because to put a permanent fence in, we're going to have to dig into the ground right on that line. We don't know yet if we're going with a chain link fence, which is probably more likely, but with wrought iron gates at the back and the front. We may go with totally wrought iron, but probably not because of that beachfront. We're thinking about the plastic coated chain link fence. So this right next to it is lot 3, and it's a beautiful lot. It's very, very well prepared. At the far back of it, there's one fairly big stump that needs to be removed or burned out, but most of the rest of the lot is very well prepared. It's beautiful, it's wide. You would be able to have a view of all of the ocean all the way from the Punto Burica until the far end, at the other end, Cucuy, which is the far end of Corazon de Jesus. I mentioned the one consideration about this is there's a rancho at the end. Right now the rancho has been blown down. It has palm leaves that cover it, and the palm leaves get old and eventually they go down. But this is actually very beautiful, this rancho. I know that Diane expressed some concern you wouldn't want a public rancho in front of your land. While it is public because it's illegal to deny anybody access to the beach, really only people from here use it, and once in a great while some other people. But it is a public rancho. It doesn't belong to Corazon de Oro, it belongs to the community. Once we're here, we plan on paying some people to help rebuild it with palm leaves, because that's where I spent almost all of my relaxation time in October, November, and again in March, April. That rancho is a great place to hang a hammock, sit with lawn chairs, beach chairs, and access the beach. We are at complete high tide now, so I am front center of lot 3. Another nice thing about it is you already have beach access, so you wouldn't have to dig a beach access path, and it would be private because if you moved in back there, you'd fence it off. You can see there's a little footpath here that the community for years has used as a community access, but this is not the community access path. It's further down the land past the big mango trees down there, and I'll show you that very soon. As soon as your yard was fenced, there would be no community access through your yard here, and people who wanted to use the rancho would have to go to the beach down that way and walk down. It's very rare for people to use the rancho, or just once in a while. I want to highlight some great things about this property. If you see these tires, you might think, oh my God, what's all this basura, trash tire, doing here? But what this really is this is genius. This whole beachfront is reinforced with an infrastructure of tires laced together with this type of marsh grass that has the huge runners. You have to be careful you don't trip on them because they're really strong, and they're what's holding this beach together. And we know they're holding it together because we were here during the flood in November, and that flood took out the beach down at San Vicente. The beach down at Cucuy was underwater. People's parcels were partially washing away. None of these lots were underwater. We were here during the height of the greatest flood in the history of Puerto, and none of these lots were underwater. It's estimated that we're about 12 feet above the beach and well above the median high tide line. Plus, most of us would build further back. Our lot needs to be maintained. We asked our fellow not to maintain it yet because we thought we'd be out here, but that stake right there will be the end of our porch. We have set that the end of our porch will be about 25 feet back from our property line so that we don't take quite so much spray and salt from the ocean. So with a setback like that, your house would probably be about here where the trees end. And this would all be front yard. So this is lot 3. You, while I'm down here, asked to see the others. So I'll just show you the next. Make sure I'm all the way out. I just want to highlight again, complete view all the way from Punta Borica, which is the point at the peninsula of Costa Rica and Panama. You can see all of Corazon, all of Puerto Armuelles. That's the little fishing village of Pez de Oro. Beautiful, beautiful people there. Fresh fish every day. Just go down there at the time they're landing, and you can either take the fish whole or you can have someone fillet it for you for a small fee. We're at high tide right now, so there doesn't appear that we have much beach, but this is a very shallow water beach. All of this water, you can see the waves are breaking out there. That's because this is all sandbar. There's a river down there, La Rio San Bartolo, and there's another river up in Cocuy, right up by that point, and that is the Rio Palo Blanco. Those two rios put out sediment that form two big sandbar deposits, which make this one of the few examples that Reynolds Veda really was a genius. He bought the most protected beachfront on the entire South Pacific coast of this part of Panama, and as far as we know, probably most of Panama. This is very protected because that's a harbor, port. There's a peninsula. The weather comes in from the southwest off the peninsula, so protection there from the peninsula and the mountains. Protection from the sandbar of the Rio and the other Rio. The only thing to be considered is during storms, there's a lot of stuff in the water. The water was almost not even salty in November during the flood. It had a lot of river water in it, and you wouldn't want to swim. At times there's big storms because the rivers wash a lot of rock down. But aside from that, this is really, really protected beachfront and very well raised above the tide line and very well reinforced. Our land has a spot that needs a little more reinforcing. This is lot 3. This is the beach access, but most of the front of this is very well reinforced. I'll show you lot 2. It's also available for sale. This would be one that you could negotiate a better price for because, look, this is part of the lot, but this part needs really, really badly clean fill. These are the property lines here. Okay, so this is our property line. So all of this part here could be a negotiating point for a more affordable price because they didn't fill it. I probably wouldn't buy lot 2 because Betsy and Ren claim they're keeping lot 1 for themselves, although it seems unlikely they will ever be allowed to live in Panama. Gossip says he's forbidden to return to Panama. Finances and facts say they can't afford to be here. But if you were interested in lot 2, which is very pretty, it really is very pretty, it would be a good one to negotiate for. A plus about it is you would not have the access road coming in, so you would not ever see headlights behind your lot, although that's an easy enough solved problem. You just put up some sort of privacy mesh screen that allows air through, but kind of gives you privacy. Lots of people do that. A consideration about this lot too is they've moved the property lines a few times, and therefore they have stumps here that would need to be removed all along lot 2. So again, lots of room for negotiation on lot 2 if you didn't want to be right in front of the rancho but still be able to see it. That's the frame of the rancho, which will be rebuilt with beautiful fresh green palms. Or we might even get the faux palm, which doesn't biodegrade, but probably not, because sometimes they get knocked down in the storm, and so we wouldn't want to use anything fancy. But this lot 2 could be a good negotiating point because it ends prematurely from the property line. The property line is, here's where clean fill would be needed, starting here. The property line is all the way up here. So room to negotiate, because it's not as long as they say. He'll argue with that and say everybody has the right to extend 25 feet anyways and blah, blah, blah. You'd never want to do that, because we saw where the water comes to in the flood. We're not extending our lot. No way. We're reinforcing our lot. We're going to put rocks and more stuff to reinforce on top of their tires and infrastructure. So this one at the end is lot 1. They claim it's not for sale. It also would need improvements at the end. We don't like it because you can't see the far east end of the beach. You can't see Corazon de Jesus. You can't see the surfing at Playa de Jesus. And you can't see the point down there, barely, that goes around Kukui and onto the rest of the Pacific coast. If you like more privacy, this might be nice, especially because who knows if they could ever live here. But a concern is on the other side. Somebody has cleared all that land. We don't know who owns it. We don't know what's going in there. We don't know if it's going to be a farm or another parcel of land or a hotel or what. We just know it's not owned by Betsy and Ren, and somebody else has cleared that land. We're hoping it's owned by the family who are farmers back there, the 2 that I showed you on the way in, and that this is more land that they own, but we truly don't know. So we steered away from this end just because of too many unknowns. Will Betsy and Ren be living here? Would we really want to live next door to them? No. I doubt very much they're ever going to live here. But the unknown of what's going on down there and the limited view ruled this one out for us. It's pretty here, as you can see, but limited view. So I'm going to continue walking on past our lot to another one that I think would be beautiful, beautiful consideration. Our lot 4 is the one that is enclosed with the little temporary circa fence, and I'm headed towards Corazon de Jesus. Again, this is lot 3, really beautiful, almost completely ready to build. This is a strong contender for you if you don't mind that there is a rancho there and that it is public and it can't be removed, with the understanding that almost nobody uses it. I use it. Most other people come once in a while. So I'm crossing the front of our lot. This is our lot as viewed from the back. There's my rental car, looking at our little circa fence. We have a little bit that needs reinforcing here. We're gonna put plain fill in here. As a matter of fact, we've already started. Oh, there went, oh, cool. Do you see the salamander or gecko? Hi, buddy. Oh, he went. Lots of things to discover. Every day there's something there. So we need a little clean fill here. This is a little close for my liking to that fence post. And this is actually a little bit inside where our property line is. This little twig here, I don't know if you can see it. This is our property marker. Here's our boundary marker right here. They have little concrete boundary markers, and they have some PVC pipe in them, and then we just put a stick in it. So this shows our property boundary. So it goes straight across from here. The reason this is important to know is this next lot, which is lot 5, is also quite a beauty and would be a really good choice for the two of you, especially if you didn't want the rancho in front of you and if you didn't want the access road coming straight towards your yard. Lot 5, you would be our west side neighbors. We always have a hard time because the Pacific faces south. This giant palm is not a coconut palm. It is the kind of palm that grows palm seeds, and we don't know. It needs some work. It would be important to get an arborist to trim this and clear it. If you bought the lot, you would have the right to have them remove the sign from the tree because you would now own the tree, and they would have to put their signage somewhere else. I would fight them putting the signage on the mango trees. We'll talk about those in a minute. Those are protected trees and their community access. They say they can't promise they'll never sell that land, but they really can't sell that land. It's impossible to build there. The roots are too big. It would kill the trees, and it's against the Panamanian law. But let's talk about this Lot 5. Lot 5 also has prime time viewing, all the way from the far end at Kukui, straight ahead, Corazon de Oro Beach. I'm sorry I missed. Playa Jesus is in the middle, Kukui. Playa Jesus, which is Corazon de Jesus. Here's Corazon de Oro. There's Pez de Oro, the fishing. And as you go further down, you can just see into the little harbor where Puerto is downtown, Barrio Carmen. And then there's the peninsula where Limones and the Punto Burica is. That's the Punto, that's the place where Panama's on this side, Costa Rica's on the other side. So, zooming back out, I want you to get a good look at this Lot 5 because I actually think it's a really, really great lot. A couple of real pros about it are this lot beside it, Lot 6, is protected. These trees are giant mother mangoes, huge, huge, and they cannot cut them down without permission of the government. And it's very unlikely the government will give them permission to cut it down. The only way would be if they can prove the trees are dangerous, and we would fight to prove that the trees aren't dangerous, but they do have some boughs that should be removed. These boughs on the side, that should be removed. On this back side, there's a really large bough that should be removed. This one that's hanging all the way down should be removed. So some of the larger boughs on the sides should be removed, but this could be protected with, they can put anchors between the two to keep them from splitting and falling. It can also be braced. There's lots of things that can be done. So we actually have it in the community guidelines that they cannot remove these trees without government approval, and that if they did so, it would be a violation of their contract with us, the violation of the community guidelines, which say Lot 6 is being preserved as a community park. I should mention, right next to Lot 6, this is the public access path, although I would say almost nobody uses it. Like almost nobody uses it. There's a neighbor in the back. He's a lovely man, Lucho. He walks up here once in a while with his dog, but he almost never uses this. But this is where the public is allowed to access the beach if they want. Typically people walk down Lot 3 right now, or through our yard, but once we all have fences there, there would be signage that says public beach access this way. So, entrada de la playa pública es aquí. There are not cars allowed in here. They would not have car access, so there'd be no cars parked in here. And as I said, really almost nobody comes here. But I just did want to mention that, and I'll get to it in a minute. Lot 7, which is next to it, is also a very nice lot, and it would be worthy of consideration as long as you didn't mind that you would have the public access path beside you. The nice thing about that is you'd also have the protected mangoes beside you for shade in the morning, and a buffer zone where nobody can build. This has to be protected. They have to legally keep public access, even though almost nobody uses it. So to move back now to the things that are great about Lot 5, these mango trees are the first thing that's really great about Lot 5, because they would be giving you shade all afternoon, which is when the sun is really hot and when shade is really helpful. So here's Lot 5 again, and it's long, like ours. It's really long and deep, about 60 feet wide, about 165 feet deep. This one's actually even a little bit further than ours. As far as the actual reinforced land, you can see ours has, there's the part of ours that could use some clean fill. So Lot 5 is in very good shape, and it has a palm tree on it. It would be up to you to maintain this. What we would probably do is hire an arborist to get up there. There's some climbing parasitic vines on it that are hurting the tree, and it needs to have the dead palm growth removed from it, and it will be a thriving palm tree which drops palm seeds that start other palms. On the back of the lot is our palm tree. That's actually on our property line. I'll just walk to the back. Beautiful, spacious lot. So these are basura trees on the side. You'd remove these when you're building. Same thing with these. We'll be removing those as soon as we put our permanent fence in. These actually were removed. These are the babies that have grown off the stumps. They're really hard to remove. We'll have to burn the stumps out. It was a lovely way for them to put very quick landscaping up and let it be somebody else's problem to remove them. A couple of considerations about lot 5 that would make it easy to negotiate for. There are some major stumps here that have not been removed that you'd need to remove, and you could negotiate a better price because that work needs to be done before the lot would be buildable. So you could negotiate money off for this needing removal. You could negotiate money off for this other big stump in the back needing removal. And you could joyfully share in our coconut palm tree, which is what we got our first coconut from this week, and we were so happy. If you look up there, yep, there's coconuts. Right now they're pipas. When they're green, they're pipas. And when they're ready, they fall. They're brown. And Jesus, is it a workout getting them open. We learned that. We were so sore. But this would be, it's on our line, on our property. I mean, not on the line, it's inside our line. Our property line here at the back of our lot is right here. Okay, so this is our marker, our boundary marker for our back of the lot. It's just a little outside of our temporary fence. So this would be the property line, and so it'd go just to the right of the coconut palm. The palm up front would be on your land if you bought this lot 5. And if you didn't want that, you would have to get government permission to take it out. The case for that would be that it's getting dangerous, although I don't believe it's dangerous yet. If it were me, I'd have it maintained. We had our guys go up and remove some dead leaves from this, and it started to really flourish and thrive and produce a lot more coconuts and little pipas up there. So we would recommend keeping the palm unless you're told that it really was unsafe. But beautiful, beautiful, beautiful lot 5. Highly recommended. The little model home demo is a 1-bedroom model home behind us. I'll show you that just really quickly. And then I'll show you a couple of other lots you may be interested in. Here's the model home. This is the type of design we're using, only we are not doing it all open air. On the porch, where they have louvered cinder block, we will have windows because we're not going to have the sea coming in, but they will be ventilator, like 42-inch wide by 14-inch long awning windows that open out. And that would be, so if you look at this design, for us, the short porch, which would be off our master bedroom, would face the ocean. So if you take this whole house and you turn it facing the ocean, this would be our oceanfront porch. 12 feet wide. This one we'll leave open. We'll have a really, really big, we're not leaving our bedroom window closed. We're having closets on either side with a picture window and a window seat in the middle, because it's always been my dream to have a window seat looking at the ocean, just a window seat in general. Then we'll have this beautiful porch. Ours will be tiled, and it will be enclosed with concrete at the bottom, and we will have this ventilating cinder block at the top for the beachfront. All the ones on the side, which will face the southwest. In other words, the direction that weather comes in from the Punto. That's where the rain comes from. That's where the sea salt comes from. All the ones to the southwest, our architect has recommended that we have windows at the top and about maybe 14 to 18 inches of concrete at the bottom, and then really do put in bars, because this is going to be truly outdoor living space, and we don't want to have to put everything away every night. It's a lot of work. If you have an outdoor kitchen, which we're going to have a partially outdoor kitchen, outdoor living space, lots of outdoor activities, you're not going to want to put them away every night, patio furniture, things like that. So we will secure our outside. This would probably have some sort of gate in between the secured part and not. We haven't quite got that far yet. The design is pretty genius. Okay, it's designed, there'd be drop ceilings above those, and then inside this roofing system would be a huge plantation fan. Now, if you look at this, it's a 1-bedroom. Ours would be 1, 2, 3 bedrooms. This is 1 bedroom and a bathroom. Ours is actually a little bit different. It's L-shaped, so our bathroom would be sideways. And then we'd have a 2nd bedroom, and then a 3rd bedroom and a bathroom. We'd have a sliding door to separate them, and then we'd have an indoor kitchen with a door coming to outside on our porch, direct access from inside kitchen to outside kitchen, and this part would be enclosed. At the end of our kitchen would be our carport. That'd be facing the back of the land, away from the beach. And then on the end of our kitchen would be, and there will be a door, instead of windows here, there will be a door going out to our laundry room and storage bodega. There will be definitely windows there. This will be facing, that's southwest, so this will be facing north. So definitely 2 double windows to get lots of light. And then here'd be a door going to the laundry room, which will be closed. It'll be an enclosed laundry room and bodega. We'll do our laundry indoors and have indoor laundry lines, because it's kind of hard to dry laundry outdoors because it's so humid. And that will be where we keep all of our things like ladders, bicycles, our generator, tools. In our kitchen, we'll probably have a tower garden. In our great room, which will be bedroom 2 and 3, with a guest bathroom, and Paul and I each want our own bathroom. We'll probably have another tower garden, and then we'll probably put our 3rd tower garden in the laundry room bodega. And those will be things that can stand more heat, fruiting crops like peppers, tomatoes, but they'll still be indoors to protect them from bugs. So picture, this is the end of our house, and instead of a window, there's a door that comes from the kitchen into the laundry room. The laundry would be right there, and a big, big bodega in the back. Paul thought I was totally crazy and I just wanted a rich gringa house. Now he gets how helpful it would be to have a bodega, because we need to move things in every night, and laundry doesn't get dry. This side will be our carport. We're planning on having an arched gate at each entryway with an arched metal gate, so it'll be a little different than this configuration. And those metal gates will open, and it will be enclosed on the side with bars to protect our vehicle. All the porches will be enclosed on the sides with, on the west side, on the southwest side, instead of louvered cinder block, we will have awning ventilator windows, and then concrete at the bottom, and some simple decorative bars. There's all kinds of beautiful designs. They're very, very, very artistic. You can see they've planned for some electric outside. There's a little spot to put electric. We will definitely plan for lots of electric outlets. If there's one thing we've learned, running electric cords is knuck and futz, and we will, this week and next week, be planning just exactly where and how many electric outlets do we want. Our bedroom on this end, let me just pretend I'm going from our bathroom, which will be sideways this way, and then our bedroom will be, no, I apologize. Our bedroom will be L-shaped, so this will be an entry hallway to the bedroom and to the great room. So it'll be a shared entryway, and then there will be a bathroom here, and then the entryway to our master bedroom will be there, and that wall will be built-in closet on the sides, in the top.